Here's what's coming up at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus.
While firefighters are recovering after being injured in a house fire turned explosion here in Salisbury. We're live on the scene with the latest.
This morning, new charges against the now former co-owner of Sycamore Brewing. Why online reviews don't appear to reflect the backlash seen on social media, and how other businesses are stepping up to help.
A new hub in the Queen City will be a one-stop shop for nonprofits and developing small businesses.
Starting a business is a little scary, but I mean, with the right help, with the right people, you can do it.
How a $1.5 million grant is boosting Charlotte development for everybody.
And a lack of sleep doesn't just make you groggy.
Why it might be making you reach for more food. Those stories and much more live, local, and breaking news coming up at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus.
Well, it might be cold, but at least it's beautiful outside this morning. Your morning commute looks all right. This is I-77 just north of Griffith, going over beautiful Lake Norman there. 28 degrees. We have a handful of ongoing wrecks that we've been talking about this morning. Don't forget about this one, West Boulevard at Carver Road. There's that picture of it involving two cars kind of just in the middle of the street, delaying you just a few minutes. And then this is I-485, the outer loop there. The crash happened at exit 6. That's Garrison Road, but it is backed up to Wilkinson Boulevard. Chris.
It is a cold start, but not as cold as yesterday, but we have that sunshine getting into the lower 50s, and then boom, look at a nice little jump up with more clouds to around 60 on Wednesday. Next best chance for rain. You need the umbrella on Thursday. That's now looking to be a likelihood of seeing rain heading into the early part of Friday. After that, we see a little downturn, but check it out. 65 degrees, the warmest day of the week. My pick of the week is also the first day of winter.
We'll take it.
Hopefully,
Okay
it's a sign of things to come.
For sure.
All right, join us at 7 a.m. over on WCNC Plus.
Bye.
streaming live right now at 7 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington. We start this hour with a check on your forecast. Not as cold as it was this time yesterday. So things, as Chris say, are heading in the right direction.
Here's the best example for you. At this point yesterday, we were 16 degrees starting off WCNC Plus. Right now, at 7 o'clock on the dot, 28 degrees. So that's a 12-degree temperature swing, and our highs are going to be about 15 degrees warmer. So anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees warmer for our lows and our highs for your Tuesday. It's going to be a terrific Tuesday as well. Lots of sunshine to go around. 22 degrees right now in Hickory, 19, so a cool spot over in Morganton. 22 in Statesville. Not reporting too many temperatures in the mountains right now. One of the sensors is down, but I'm seeing a range of anywhere from the upper teens to even close to freezing because there's a little bit of cloud cover that was up there around Jefferson, 90 degrees in Albemarle as well, and a clear start. For the rest of this morning, we are looking at a sunny day. Worst case scenario is some upper level clouds could join us, and then 45 degrees by about noon. The reason why this is significant is yesterday's high was 38 degrees. Yeah, that was the high for the day. And today, as I mentioned, about 15 degrees warmer, up to 53. And sunshine makes everything so much better. I always say this is my favorite stat. You'll hear me say this probably once a week if there's a sunshine or a sunny-filled day. Sunshine, if you're standing directly in it, will make you feel at least 10 degrees warmer. So that's always nice to factor that in, especially when it's a lot warmer. 53 around Charlotte, as I mentioned, and 54 in Lancaster. And our lows are crazy warm going forward for your Thursday and Friday. That's going to be because of cloud cover, a front pushing through, and some rain. So rain looks to be the scenario really from Thursday heading into Friday morning. Then eventually we'll have some cooler air that pushes in behind it. And it's just a short-lived cool down. So outside of today is going to be the coolest one that we have over the next 10. And we're either around freezing on Wednesday or Saturday morning. Other than that, you have above average lows. So that's great news for us. Tomorrow, 61 degrees with increasing clouds. So I think that by the late afternoon, we're talking about a mostly cloudy sky, and that eventually is going to lead to a precursor of some rain that jogs into your Thursday. Our high temperature trend will trend down slightly for your Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but then boom, right back up to my pick of the week, 65 degrees, and even now we have this in view. That means we have within 10 days for any last minute Christmas shopping for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, 64 and 65. Also, if you look at our long range trend, 8 to 14 days out, that brings us through December 29th, above average temperatures there. Okay, as always, I'm going to stop right here. We're going to talk a little bit more in detail about our next chance for rain. It's Thursday, by the way. How long it could rain, how much you could see, and if any of that is going to impact your weekend. But first, our first check on WCNC Plus traffic. Good morning.
Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Chilly start to our Tuesday, so bundle up as you're heading out the door, but it is beautiful. I mean, look at this. This is I-77 just north of Griffith going over Lake Norman. Conditions are looking fantastic as far as the weather goes, but as we're looking at some of our drive time maps and traffic cameras here in South Carolina, you can see a little bit more congestion now that people are really heading out the door, starting their morning commute. We do have a handful of ongoing wrecks already ongoing this morning. This one here is at West Boulevard at Carver Road, seeing minimal delays. That yellow there is meaning maybe it might slow you down just a couple of minutes. This is a picture that was sent to my inbox from that specific crash. Again, outbound West Boulevard at Carver Road, impacting at least 2 cars that were involved, but it seems like it's still kind of in the middle of the road. This one is going to be a slowdown for that morning commute. 485, the outer loop there, Garrison Road, that's exit 6. That's where the accident actually happened, but it is backed up to exit 9 there at Wilkinson Boulevard. So plan accordingly. Traffic right now on the outer loop of 485 out this direction is currently at a stop and go.
This morning, we are hearing from the Salisbury Fire Chief on the status of 12 firefighters hurt in a house explosion.
Most of them just wanted to, one, check on how everybody else was doing. They care about others and their coworkers. They cared about the civilians. They wanted to know how the civilians were. And they said, I'm ready to get back on the truck tonight. And we had to tell them, no, you do what the doctor says do.
The chief says all of them are expected to be just fine. This all happened last night at a home on Laurel Street. That's right off North Long Street near Spencer.
And that is where we find WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards this morning. Destiny, there are so many questions about how this all unfolded last night.
Yeah, that's right. We're here at that home on Laurel Street. It is partially blocked off where this house fire turned house explosion happened. Thankfully, all of those firefighters are expected to be okay. Most of them are already at home recovering as investigators work to find those answers. Now, firefighters, they arrived here just before 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon for a heavy fire call. While crews were inside working to put it out, the house suddenly exploded, causing the roof to collapse and debris to fly. Authorities say 11 Salisbury firefighters and 1 firefighter from East Spencer were injured, along with 2 people who were inside the home. The Salisbury fire chief says the firefighters suffered non-life-threatening injuries. We spoke with the homeowner last night, and he says his brother and sister were the 2 in the house when the fire started, and his sister was taken to the hospital.
They got out safely. Pray to God they got out safely. It's a lot of prayers up for me. It's a long journey back for us. A fire, we just can't get it back. I can't get the house as long as I got my family. That's good.
We did unfortunately learn that 2 family dogs did die in the fire. Now, this morning we just saw someone from the fire department drive in. We know that they were expecting the building inspector to arrive this morning, so we'll find out more information about what's happening here on scene today. But we should say that yesterday it was initially released that this was a gas line explosion. That information was retracted, so as of this morning, the cause of the fire and the explosion are still under investigation. I'll send it back to you guys live here in Salisbury.
All right, Destiny, thanks so much for that live report. This morning, new charges filed against the now former co-owner of Sycamore Brewing. Justin Brigham is now facing 3 counts of sex offense against a child under 15, a second-degree charge of sexual exploitation of a minor, soliciting a child by computer, and assault inflicting serious bodily injury. Brigham is in jail. He has a $10 million bond. His next court date is set for December 29th. This morning, questions continue to flood social media, including why online reviews don't appear to reflect the backlash surrounding the case.
WCNC Charlotte's Megan Bragg verifies whether business owners can remove negative reviews.
This question came up on a Reddit feed asking if businesses, in this case Sycamore, is allowed to delete Google reviews. So let's verify.
Our sources are Google and Yelp. According to Google Help Center, businesses cannot directly delete Google reviews. Google states businesses cannot remove reviews just because they are negative, cannot edit or hide reviews, and cannot pay Google to remove reviews. However, there is a policy where Google itself can remove reviews. Those requirements are if the review is fake or from a bot, if it's hateful, threatening, or discriminatory, if it's not based on a customer's experience, and if it's from a competitor or former employee. Businesses can also flag reviews, and if Google deems it spam or profanity, Google can take it down. We also looked at the popular site Yelp's review policy. Their content guidelines are much like Google's, where businesses can only report reviews but not delete them. Yelp will delete a review if it includes content like threats, hate speech, or harassment. So we can verify that no, businesses cannot delete a Google or Yelp review themselves. They can only report them. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
Meanwhile, a popular bar in Chapel Hill is standing by Sycamore and its workers. In a statement on Instagram, Goodfellas Bar says in part, instead of dumping the beer in the brewery and penalizing the innocent, hardworking people who rely on the brewery for their livelihoods, we're going to continue to work with Sycamore going forward. They went on to say they're going to donate a portion of proceeds from the future of Sycamore sales to a local rape crisis center. We're also waiting to hear from the national retail chain Total Wine. They typically sell Sycamore products, but a WCNC viewer sent us this photo from the location in Steel Creek. It shows an empty shelf where Sycamore products normally sit. We reached out to Total Wine for more details. We'll let you know when we hear back.
7:09 now. The family of a Charlotte mother who was found dead late last week continues to push for justice. Lorenza Inman faced the judge for the first time Monday in the murder of 31-year-old Frazier Baker. Inman was denied bond. Prosecutors pointed to his extensive criminal history, including past cases involving violence against women, a prior assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill. Baker's family says this tragedy should have never happened.
I hope you never get out. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about her. That's what I want. Every day you wake up, I want you to think about my baby.
And his next court hearing is scheduled for January 2nd. This morning, a man remains behind bars after jurors in Iredell County found him guilty in a deadly drunk driving crash that killed a father and his 2 children. Prosecutors say in 2022, Austin Harmon crossed the center line while driving drunk and slammed into a golf cart carrying 6 people. Michael Marlowe, his 5-year-old son, and 13-year-old daughter were all killed. Harmon was convicted on DWI and 3 felony counts.
Right now, a man's in jail after a shooting at a nightclub on Old Pineville Road that has a history of problems with police. Police say 20-year-old Riley Condors is facing 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill. This all happened Sunday at Club Onyx. Court documents say Condors pointed a gun at a security guard at the club after he refused to leave. That's when the guard shot at him but hit a different person. That person is expected to be okay. Club Onyx has been linked to numerous police calls over the years, including a parking lot shooting as recently as this past September.
President Trump says the peace deal between Ukraine and Russia is closer than ever. But will the latest talks in Germany finally bring an end to the war?
.713 right now on WCNC Plus. President Trump says a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia is, quote, closer than ever. The proposed agreement is said to include NATO-like security guarantees for Ukraine to prevent further Russian attacks. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from our nation's leaders.
Renewed hopes this morning for an end to Russia's war in Ukraine after a second day of U.S.-Ukraine talks in Berlin.
I think we're closer now than we have been ever, and we'll see what we can do.
In a major concession, Ukraine now says it's willing to give up a long-sought push for NATO membership, though President Volodymyr Zelensky says that's only if the U.S. and European allies grant his country NATO-like security guarantees to guard against future Russian attacks.
Мій сигнал щодо гарантій безпеки.
Zelensky is so far resisting another major Russian demand to give up territory. Russian President Vladimir Putin wants Ukrainian forces to withdraw from parts of eastern Ukraine they still control as a key condition for peace. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner working with Ukrainian and European officials to find compromise.
We're making progress. It's more difficult than anybody could have thought.
We're thankful.
Ukrainian negotiators under pressure to accept a U.S.-brokered peace deal that initially backed Moscow's demands now say they're making real progress toward an agreement that could finally bring peace. European leaders released a statement from the Berlin talks saying they and the U.S. committed to jointly providing Ukraine robust security guarantees, including a European-led and U.S.-backed multinational force that would operate inside Ukraine. Russia has previously said it would not accept any troops from NATO countries being based in Ukraine. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
The federal government is now looking to grow its talent pool in high-tech jobs. There's a new push to bring in workers who can modernize technology and expand the use of artificial intelligence.
About 1,000 people will be hired to form what's called the U.S. Tech Force. The Office of Personnel Management is seeking software engineers, data scientists, project managers, and AI experts. They'll be placed across different agencies for a 2-year program. Applications for these jobs opened on Monday. President Trump has filed a huge lawsuit against the British broadcasting company, BBC. He is asking for $10 billion in damages. The case centers on a documentary that he says edited his January 6th comments to look like he was encouraging violence. The BBC later apologized for those edits. Legal experts say it will be tough for Trump to win, but the lawsuit is moving forward with a jury trial request.
Today, a federal judge set to hold an emergency hearing on President Donald Trump's White House ballroom project. A historic preservation group has filed a lawsuit arguing the president skipped key approvals for both Congress and planning commissions. Instead, Mr. Trump ordered the demolition of the East Wing 2 months ago to make way for construction. The group says the project should be stopped until proper reviews are done. The Secret Service warns that any delay could affect their ability to protect the president. The judge will now decide whether construction can continue or if it needs to be put on hold. The president set to visit North Carolina later this week. Republican U.S. Senate candidate Michael Whatley making the announcement, saying that the president would be heading to Rocky Mount on Friday. Whatley, the former National Committee chair for Republicans, was endorsed by the president this past summer. He called on supporters to give Mr. Trump, quote, the North Carolina welcome he deserves, end quote.
All right, we're opening up our travel circle, getting to the point and the time of year that people are going to need to start traveling. Letting you know our next chance for widespread rain is this coming Thursday. But coming up, I'm going to show you all the rain chances we have leading up to the big holiday. See you soon. Welcome back, and as always, I'd love to thank you for joining us here on WCNC Plus. All is looking well. Temperatures right now around 28 degrees, and we are anticipating our next chance for rain. It's not just a chance now, it's actually likely that we're going to see rain on Thursday. Before, yesterday, at this point, and that's why you got to stay with us on the forecast, it was looking like a chance for rain, maybe a scattered shower during the afternoon, and then it's widespread during the evening. It's still widespread during the evening and the overnight, but now rain is likely for the morning and the afternoon. It looks like 3 big pulses. So when do you need the umbrella for our next rain chance? I would say Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, and Thursday evening. Now, I did take this off. I had this earlier on WCNC Charlotte that you needed for Friday morning. I think most of the rain is going to be done at that point. Besides, maybe you see a little bit of snow on the backside of this for the mountains. Majestic and I were looking at the long range for any mountain goers. And our futurecast shows that really what we're going to do over the coming hours is increase the clouds. Today, sunshine. We have nothing but sunshine to worry about today. We actually have a nice push adding a little extra moisture, so not as dry on the skin and on us for your Wednesday. That's going to create more clouds. We're talking about a partly sunny day, even mostly cloudy at times. Significant cloud cover heading into the evening. And then here comes the rain. First signs of it really arrive around sunrise Thursday. Should be pretty cloudy at this point, staying mild as well. The most concentrated rain as of right now is looking to be southeast of Charlotte. This is still 2 days out, and we see constant changes with this. This is actually a pretty complex system that's going to be pretty beastly the further north that you go. But for us, we're just seeing a conveyor belt of some rain, mainly east of I-77. But I think it's anyone either side of the I-77 corridor. You need to anticipate rain heading into the afternoon. And I think it could rain for hours for some of us. And I think some of us picking up over an inch to even close to 2 inches when all is said and done. We'll hit a few breaks in between these bands of rain during the afternoon. A second one starts to roll in for your Thursday evening, and then the final hurrah will be into your Friday morning. So our upcoming rain chances, and this brings us all the way through Christmas, the next likely one is going to be Thursday, and then we have another really weak chance for rain on late Monday heading into Tuesday. So opening up our travel circle that I was just showing you, one that stands out from all the rest is this upcoming rain. This has really filled in the gaps quite impressively and really starts to intensify the further north that you go. Then by your Friday morning, I think it's still going to have a damp road, but by 7 o'clock, looks like most of this is going to be clearing. Would not be surprised if it's really a windy environment behind this as well. Chance for some snow that's going to be creating itself as the winds are lifting up the mountains. And then we're dry for your Saturday, for your Sunday. And then here's that next chance for rain that I was mentioning, Monday night heading into Tuesday. And then outside of that, we clear things out. And this brings us up for a drier Christmas overall. So that's what I'm talking about. Our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast also shows things that are on the milder end, up to 61 by your Wednesday, a slight downturn through your Saturday, and then boom, 65 degrees for the first day of winter, and temperatures will trend back up to the mid-60s again for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day on that 10-day forecast. Good looking end to the forecast for sure, and even a great end of the year. Let's see if it's a great start to our morning commute with Majestic.
Let's do it. It's beautiful, but it is chilly out there, and we do still have a handful of ongoing wrecks if you're heading out the door anytime soon. Look at how nice it is, though. It's a beautiful start to our Tuesday morning. I-77 there at 277 right around Uptown. Meanwhile, we switched over to our live traffic maps, and we still do have multiple active wrecks. 2 lanes right now currently blocked because of a crash. This is on West Boulevard southbound at Carver Road. We've been talking about this for over 30 minutes, close to an hour at this point. This is a picture that I did get into my inbox a little earlier this morning of that specific crash. They are starting to clear that. Another big slowdown right here this morning is I-485. This is the outer loop at West Boulevard. That's where we do have the crash there. Really, those backups are going to be between exit 6 and exit 9. They did put on a note that people are still able to move through this area. It's not completely shut down or anything like that. It's just going to be moving a little slower than it typically would be. We also have a crash this morning on Independence. This time it's at exit 244. That's Television Place. That'll be those northbound lanes, those inbound lanes that'll be impacted by the crash. And then here on Tryon Street at Moss Street, this crash is also still ongoing.
Majestic, thanks. 7:24. Now we're going to take a quick break. We'll make sure that you keep it right here, streaming live on WCNC Plus.
Good morning. It is warmer than yesterday. Yesterday at this time we were 16 degrees. Right now we're 28 for 7:26 in the morning. And current temperatures elsewhere 32 degrees. Nice. Up in Jefferson, 21 around North Wilkesboro, 19 for you in Morganton, and 21 over in Wadesboro. A beautiful sky off in the distance. Just some upper level clouds beginning the day, but all in all today is going to be a perfectly sunny day. High temperatures in the lower to the mid 50s. It's going to be about a 10 to 15 degree upgrade for our highs today, and that sunshine is making things so much better. The wind's also a little bit lighter as well. Overnight, down to freezing we go again to kick off sunrise around 7:26 tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow will be a warmer day, even more so than what we have with increasing clouds for your Wednesday, right around 60. Next best chance for rain, you need the umbrella. Thursday, the warmest day, first day of winter. On Sunday, 65 degrees. Let's see how our morning's looking with Majestic. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Heading out the door for our Tuesday, and traffic is busy. It's 7:27 right now. This is I-77 at 277. You can see the beautiful Queen City. There's still a handful of ongoing wrecks. I've been watching this one here. It's not even cleared yet. 2 lanes currently blocked because of a crash. West Boulevard at Carver Road. There's a picture that I did receive of it earlier. Take it easy.
We are streaming live on WCNC Plus at 7:30 on this Tuesday morning. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. This morning, Salisbury Fire Chief sharing an update on the 12 firefighters who were hurt during a home explosion.
Most of them just wanted to, one, check on how everybody else was doing. They care about others and their coworkers. They cared about the civilians. They wanted to know how the civilians were. And they said, I'm ready to get back on the truck tonight. And we had to tell them, no, you do what the doctor says do.
He expects all the firefighters to be okay. The incident happened last night at a home on Laurel Street. That's right off North Long Street near Spencer. At least a dozen firefighters, 11 from Salisbury, 1 from Spencer, were working to put out a fire when the house suddenly exploded, sending bricks and debris flying. We spoke with the homeowner, who told us 8 people live in the home, but only his brother and sister were there when the fire broke out. He says his sister is in the hospital. He is still trying to process what exactly happened.
Yeah, we was going to have Christmas here, but I guess we're not going to have it here. We're still going to have Christmas. We're not going to be here, but it'll be somewhere.
He says their 2 dogs did not make it out. The cause of the fire remains under investigation.
Right now, CNPD is searching for a suspect after a deadly shooting early Monday morning in East Charlotte. It happened around 3 a.m. along North Sharon Amity Road near East Independence Boulevard, just outside the daycare. We brought you this as breaking news yesterday. You may remember. Neighbors say the violence is unsettling in what's usually a quiet area.
You don't know what people do anymore. You know, you have to go to work. You mind your own business, and seem like that's not enough.
Police say officers arrived on a call for an assault with a deadly weapon and found a man suffering from gunshot wounds. He later died at the hospital. CMPD is asking anyone with information or video to come forward as their search continues. Local authorities say it was another successful weekend for Operation Safe Season. CMPD made 36 arrests, conducted 224 traffic stops, and seized 20 guns. The Central Division reported 0 violent crime from Friday evening to Sunday afternoon. Officials say they'll keep working to ensure a safe holiday season for everyone.
A woman's behind bars in connection to a deadly hit and run in Gastonia nearly 2 months ago. U.S. Marshals took 36-year-old Laketta English into custody. She's charged with felony hit and run. The crash happened back in October on Garrison Boulevard. Perhaps you remember this surveillance video. 2 pedestrians were hit by an SUV. Cody Cochran died. The other victim was seriously hurt. Right now, investigators working to figure out what sparked a fire at a Matthews neighborhood. The fire reportedly broke out at a pool house on Brightmoor Drive near Pleasant Plains Road. You can see charred remains of the building, smoke still coming out there at the time. That investigation is still underway. Impact fees for the entire Clover School District are going up in York County. York County leaders voting last night to increase the fees that are issued for new homes to $8,000. It doubles the current price by $4,000. Supporters say the move is necessary to help keep up with the rapid growth in that area. President Donald Trump set to visit North Carolina later this week. Republican U.S. Senate candidate Michael Whatley says the president's coming to Rocky Mount on Friday. Whatley, the former National Committee chair for Republicans, was endorsed by Trump this past summer.
7:33 now. A new hub in Charlotte will be a one-stop shop for nonprofits and developing small businesses. It's all aimed at improving the Albemarle Road area. This is one of the city's so-called corridors of opportunity. It's now closer to becoming a reality thanks in large part to a $1.5 million grant from the Leon Levine Foundation. WCNC Charlotte's Michelle Bowden shows us how this public-private partnership is seeking solutions to bring Spark Centro to life.
The city and county also each threw in $1.5 million to bring this project to life because the city of Charlotte is home to one of the fastest growing Latino populations in the country.
I'm Mexican, Colombian. Well, I was born here.
Tim Howard runs his own landscaping business, one of the 8,000 Latino-owned businesses in Charlotte, a number that's growing every day.
Starting a business is a little scary, but I mean, with the right help, with the right people, you know, you can do it.
Howard was part of the eHub program at Spark Centro.
Me, for the longest time, I was like, you know, I'm going to start a business. And I was just, you know, always hesitant, always, you know, it's not the right time. They kind of told you, like, you just need to start, like, just go out there, do it.
The program is one of several Spark Centro focuses on. The local nonprofit that partners with the Latin Chamber of Commerce is building a hub for growing Latino-owned small businesses in the Albemarle Road corridor.
This plan started with a Latin community, but we have evolved into a more inclusive practice, so it's the corridors for everybody.
Spark Centro, the hub, is under construction thanks to money from the city and county, as well as private partners like the Leon Levine Foundation and the Latin Chamber of Commerce, and the center should open next fall. There will also be room for other nonprofits and services, all there under one roof.
So we're putting together all that force and all that energy that we have in one building. By doing this, we're going to create a lot of mobility in that corridor and across diverse ethnicity groups.
So once it's done, there's also going to be a community event space and rotating companies helping with workforce development, all of this under one roof. Reporting in Charlotte, Michelle Bowden, WCNC Charlotte.
Thanks a lot, Michelle. So check it out, a beautiful blue sky. Louisville doing it right. We just have some upper level clouds starting off our day, but that's pretty much the cloudiest it's going to get for you Tuesday. And then that beautiful golden orb is now up in the sky over here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, who's still doing those nightly trips around the track. If you want to check out the lights, if you haven't done it, you have to do it at least once, especially if you just moved here to the Charlotte area. It's definitely worth your while. Also, McAdenville, you know, all the bucket lists. I also love the celebration of lights over in Kannapolis is a good one, especially if you have kids. Our high temperature ranges so far through 15 days of December. By the way, December 16th, that's the median. That's the middle point of December. We're almost halfway done with the month. That means that we're only 16 days away from the new year. Crazy times flown by. Hopefully you've had a great 2025. Let's celebrate a great 2026. So far through 15 days though, our average high has been 48.1 degrees. That's actually the 20th coldest set of highs that we've had through the first 15 days of December in Charlotte history, where only once we have had a high of 60 degrees. Other than that, we've been mainly in the 40s, even had one day, and that was yesterday, that was only in the 30s. So we've been well below normal. Now we're about to reverse the script and be well above normal going forward. Today, kind of on brand of where we should be. We have an average high about 55 degrees for this day in climatology. It's going to look like that. It's going to feel like the lower to the mid 50s, at times feeling like the upper 40s, slight and more aggressive wind chill up in the mountains, but still not too bad for today. Then our high temperatures are up and down all around. We're back to 60 degrees plus for your Wednesday for the second time this month. And then boom, not only one, not two, but 3 days in the mid 60s. Now this is bad news if you are a white Christmas hoper, because mid 60s and also starting off well above freezing for Christmas Eve and Christmas is not the right recipe. It's the exact opposite for any snow for the holiday. Also day 8 to 14 looking to be above average temperatures. By the way, this map a few weeks ago when we had that big Arctic tundra to start off the month was in this range, but the opposite. So these are actually really good tools to show where temperatures are trending. Our surface map over the next 36 hours, not a lot of movement. We have some high pressure systems that are dancing around the area. Eventually they're going to get out of here, and that's going to allow for our next front to arrive. That arrives for your Wednesday, and that's going to filter in some more clouds. That cloud cover will technically be the precursor to rain, but it's that cold front to the north and west that's going to cool us down slightly, but it's really going to be our next big wet weather maker. Our futurecast wind gusts are also showing that those winds are going to get a little bit gusty as that front rolls through, as it's starting to filter in some of that cooler air. Sorry, my graphics are going crazy. Our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast has those up and downs I just showed you. The coincidental thing about the 65 degree point I have, that's actually the beginning of the winter solstice that officially begins on December 21st, Sunday at 10:03. Hopefully it's not a winter-long losing streak for the Panthers. They need the W for sure. We'll see a little brief cool down with a chance for rain on Monday night heading into Tuesday, but we're warming right back up as I showed you for Christmas Eve and Christmas. Again, that Thursday time frame is the only big chance for rain. I'm going to show you a little more details what that looks like coming up, but first, Majestic has you covered for your morning commute.
Good morning, everyone. Let's get to it. A beautiful, chilly start to our Tuesday morning. Area roadways definitely busy. It's just before 7:40 this morning. Not seeing any big concerns on I-77 at this point, especially not there in South Carolina. One crash that I'm really keeping my eye on is right here, I-485. This is the outer loop at West Boulevard. That's where we do have an active crash, so it's really backed up mainly between exit 6 and exit 9 there. There was a note that traffic is still moving. It's just moving at a stop and go at this point. If you take Independence inbound, we're also following an active crash here. Inbound lanes, 244 is where the crash is. That's Television Place. And then a new crash right here, also not looking great. One lane is blocked because of a crash. This is I-77 southbound at exit 13A to get onto I-85. Lots of red there popping up. And then finally this here at Tryon Street at Moss Road. Little bit of colors popping up there as well. So some impacts for that morning commute. Those are a few things that I'm looking at right now. We'll have another check on those roads coming up here soon.
7:40 right now. Nonprofits bringing holiday cheer to communities still reeling from Hurricane Helene. We'll show you how joy can truly shine where devastation still lingers.
historic house in Beaufort near the coast caught fire early Monday morning. More than 8 agencies worked to put out the flames. No one was inside the home when that fire started, and there were no reported injuries. The home dates back to 1815. According to the state, it's considered an historic landmark for many in town and had a lot of historical memorabilia inside.
The Duncan family had it. It was used not only as a residence, but also as a chandlery and ship store, which is how it was able to get on the state historic preservation list as one of the 11 structures of statewide significance, because it was the last of its kind.
And Chandlery is a store that sells supplies and equipment for ships and boats. There's been no information released about what might have caused the fire. Nonprofits that played an active role in providing resources after Hurricane Helene hosted holiday events in areas that were devastated by the storm.
Brian Sockett spoke with some of the organizers of the groups and those affected in Western North Carolina.
Who is that? Say monkey. Yeah.
Single mom Quatira Lewis picking out toys for her kids at the Cowboy Christmas celebration. She tells us that Christmases have gotten difficult since Helene, and that right after the storm, she had quit her job because there was no available childcare and the schools were shut down.
Doing things like this, it takes a burden off our backs for sure. Especially mine. I am a single mother of, again, 4 lovely, wonderful kids. I don't work, so this is lovely for me, and I'm forever grateful for things like this.
The event was at the Blue Ridge Cowboy Church and was organized by Mission Mules in collaboration with the United Cajun Navy, both nonprofits that provided disaster relief and supplies after Helene.
When we were here last time, there wasn't the smiles. Now there's a lot of smiles, and not just the kids, but the parents. There's a pressure taken off of them, I think, from just days afterwards, that you just, only time can fix that,
The event had a barbecue meal, free Christmas gifts, and a meet and greet with the mules. In response to Helene, the mules would haul supplies to areas in need. But Mike Tober with the nonprofit says they also learned that the mules had a healing effect on people.
People would find the mules and they would come and they'd hug the mules, they'd cry with the mules, they would do that sort of thing. And that's when it first started getting in our head that there's more going on than us just delivering these supplies.
And in Swannanoa, Hearts with Hands had their Hope for the Holidays event where they provided gifts for each child, a meal for everyone in attendance, and additional supplies. Dr. Greg Lentz with the nonprofit says they had about 1,500 people at the event and that a lot of them are still struggling because of Helene.
Some of them lost their jobs, some of them were out of work for months, and so with this helps them to be able to give Christmas to their families and their children, and so we've had a lot of donors that stepped up.
Brian Stocker reporting for us there. North Carolina State Auditor Dave Bolick says the state must improve how it tracks spending. He sharply criticized past recovery efforts from Hurricanes Florence and Matthew, calling them a disaster. Now, as he reviews Helene recovery, Bolick says that financial oversight is still falling short. For instance, he points to the need for clear performance benchmarks when hiring contract workers. We thought we'd hear from the auditor there, but clearly we do not have that. This means the state cannot hold up progress, according to Bolick, if these new standards are put in place. He says a full report on Helene's recovery will be released in the next few weeks.
Glaciers are vanishing faster than ever, and scientists warn the pace is only accelerating. Many are wondering how many more will disappear before the world takes action.
And as we do a break, if you're looking to get into the holiday spirit, we have got something special for you. Starting tonight at 9:30, we're going to be streaming parades around the Piedmont right here on WCNC Plus. And that is just the beginning. Throughout the rest of the year, you can catch all of our holiday events anytime on the WCNC Plus app. Take a look. That's just some of them right there. You got Belmont, you got Concord, you got Fort Mill, Mooresville, Rock Hill, Santa Tracker, Union County as well. We've got you covered. It's the easiest way to enjoy local holiday celebrations right from your home anytime you want.
More than 200,000 glaciers exist on Earth, but experts say climate change has made thousands of them disappear over the past few decades.
A new report suggests as the planet continues to heat up, the pace of glacier extinction is expected to pick up. Researchers predict by the middle of the century, up to 4,000 glaciers a year will go away if people don't stop pumping carbon dioxide and other chemicals into the air. One of the study's authors said climate change does not just lead to some ice melt, but leads to the complete extinction of a lot of those glaciers.
And here's the thing, Chris. I mean, we don't necessarily see glaciers that often. Some people never see them, so you may not think about them, but it's certainly an issue that we need to start thinking about seriously.
Oh, absolutely, because glaciers melt, the ice is melting, the sea levels rise. It can lead to astronomical repercussions. And here in the United States, Alaska has some of the most beautiful glaciers across the world. So that's really alarming data there. Luckily, I have nothing alarming in the near-term forecast for us. We're actually warming up. Another proven point of climate change is we keep on getting these warmer stints. But one thing that people constantly misconstrue with this, they'll often say, oh, global warming, well, it's cold. Well, climate change actually leads to more temperature extremes. So the big cool downs to the rapid swing ups is all just a feature of climate change. And we for sure are seeing that for this coming December. We were abnormally cold. Now we're going to be abnormally warm. You know, at least we're getting both sides of the aisle, right? As far as our next rain chance goes, it has been super dry, not just for December, but really for the better part of this year. I was just looking at some of the data so far leading up to this point. Now, Thursday's rain could skew this a little bit, but if the year were to end today, this would be the 12th driest year on record dating back to 1878. That's how dry it's been. So this could be some long-term tree damage and drought-stricken activity. So we desperately need the rain. What we're going to see this week isn't necessarily going to help, but hey, truly, if you're being an optimist, anything really will help. So it's really Thursday and Thursday night that we're seeing the best chances for rain. So let's get through that. A little more detailed look at our future cast. Nothing to worry about today. Today is perfectly sunny. I love today. Today is a warmer day, 15 degrees warmer or so than what we had yesterday, but then boom, upper level clouds increased by tomorrow. All in all, tomorrow is a partly sunny day. That means at least 60% of the sky is filled with clouds, turning mostly cloudy at times. It's about an 80%, by the way. And then we will see a little bit of rain up in the mountains, slight chance for Charlotte, but I don't really think that we see the rain until Thursday morning. What's interesting about this, I was looking at a similar model yesterday, not as detailed as this one, but it didn't have rain really arrive until really late afternoon to the evening. This one now has rain arrive southeast of Charlotte as early as sunrise, and it will be heavy at times, but especially Monroe over to Raleigh down through Rockingham, this area is showing a big conveyor belt. And what's interesting about this is going to swing. This is going to skew back and forth. So I think we have multiple pulses of rain. It could be heavy at times. Could be pretty continuous heading into your Thursday evening. So just keep that in mind. Definitely do not want to forget the umbrella Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, and Thursday night. By Friday morning, I think it's just going to be breezy behind this front. That's going to cool us back down to freezing on Saturday. That's another point to make. We only have 2 mornings that are starting at freezing or below. Other than that, above freezing and certainly warmer, 65 degrees for the first day of winter on Sunday. And we should be around a similar temperature range for Christmas Eve and Christmas for that 10-day forecast. Just wow. I said that yesterday as well. Majestic, take it away.
I think a lot of people are saying wow, but probably looking forward to it. A nice, sunny, warm Christmas. I think many will enjoy getting outside and enjoying it. Hey, if you're heading out the door anytime soon, these are some of our cameras. We're looking at I-77 here, coming in around York County, Mecklenburg County, if you're making that commute back or forth. It is, of course, a busy morning just before 8 a.m. Lots of people heading out the door. You got places to be, you have things to do. Still following this slowdown, seeing lots of red still with this. It's not cleared. It's I-485, the outer loop there. It's really between exit 6 and exit 9. That's where the backup really is. But again, cars are moving. They're just moving a little slower out there on 485, the outer loop. We're looking at Independence now. We always know Independence is kind of a headache this time of the day, especially heading towards Uptown, and it's even worse when there's a crash, which currently there is. There at exit 244, that's Television Place, and then just to the north of Uptown, one lane is currently blocked because of this crash here on I-77 southbound at exit 13A. We'll have another check on those roads coming up here in a little while.
7:55 right now. Ginger, our elf on the shelf, is back this morning. Time to check in. She's celebrating Taco Tuesday in an unconventional way. Some people want to eat the taco. Ginger wants to be the taco. You do you, Ginger. You do you. She shows up every single morning. Never know what she's going to be up to. Always surprises us. Keep your pictures coming as well. We've been asking for how Ginger's friends are handling the holiday season. Take a look at some of her friends out there, up to mischief, no doubt, usually are. Folks, you can send your Elf on the Shelf to us, 704-329-3600.
Right now, we're going to take a quick break. We'll make sure that you keep it right here on WCNC Plus, streaming live.
Warmer is one of the best words to describe today. Yesterday, a high of 38, and we were in the teens to kick off the morning. Well, we already can see, compared to 24 hours ago, it's 27 degrees warmer for you in Jefferson and 11-degree difference for you around the Charlotte area. Current temperatures right now, upper 20s to even the upper teens, depends where you are. Jefferson, you're one of the warmest spots. You are freezing right now, and that's actually the warm spot. 21 for you in Salisbury. Temperatures all over the place. We have a lot of differential cooling. 38 yesterday, up about 15 degrees for today. 53 is going to be amazing. So it's a cold morning, a warmer day overall, and a sunny day. So something to look forward to. Going to be a delightful Taco Tuesday, still warmer than the entirety of yesterday, even as late as about 8 to 9 o'clock. Staying clear as well. Heading into tomorrow, we increase the clouds. This is a big change as high temperatures get around 60 degrees. Rain likely for Thursday, though. Majestic?
Good morning, everyone. Let's start with some of our drive times if you're heading out the door. Coming in from Gastonia, around an hour. It's slow moving on I-85 right now, and just over 30 minutes if you're coming in from Matthews. It's gorgeous, though. It is chilly. Grab that layer as you're heading out the door this morning. Still looking at a handful of ongoing crashes. This one here, it's on I-485, the outer loop, really between exit 6 and exit 9. Take it easy.
Streaming live right now at 8 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington.
This morning we are hearing from the Salisbury Fire Chief on the status of 12 firefighters hurt in a house explosion.
Most of them just wanted to, one, check on how everybody else was doing. They care about others and their coworkers. They cared about the civilians. They wanted to know how the civilians were. And they said, I'm ready to get back on the truck tonight. And we had to tell them, no, you do what the doctor says do.
He says he expects all the firefighters to be okay. This all happened last night at a home on Laurel Street that's right off North Long Street near Spencer.
And that is where we find WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards live this morning. Destiny, we know there are lots of questions now. It's now daylight. Tell us what it looks like behind you. What's the scene?
Yeah, it's still definitely a scene where a house is a total loss after a house fire turned explosion yesterday. This is what we're looking at with the sun fully up. Much like last night, still caution tape around the debris that's left behind. Same vehicle behind the caution tape as well. And thankfully, all 12 of the firefighters injured are expected to be okay. Most of them already at home recovering. And investigators are still searching for answers. Now, firefighters were called here just before 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon for a heavy fire. While crews were inside working to put it out, the house suddenly exploded, causing the roof to collapse and debris to fly. Authorities say 11 Salisbury firefighters and 1 firefighter from East Spencer were injured, along with 2 people who were inside the home. The Salisbury fire chief says the firefighters suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Now, we spoke with the homeowner last night. He says his brother and sister were the 2 in the house when the fire started, and his sister was taken to the hospital.
They got out safely. I pray to God they got out safely. It's a lot of prayers up for me. It's a long journey back for us. A fire, we just can't get it back. I can't get the house as long as I got my family. That's good.
We also learned that unfortunately 2 family dogs died in this fire and explosion. Now, it was initially released that it was a gas line explosion, but that information was retracted. Now the cause of the fire is under investigation, and we can confirm that about an hour ago, the building inspector was here, so that investigation is definitely resuming this morning, and we'll be sure to give you the latest information once it's made available. I'll send it back to you guys live here from Salisbury.
All right, Destiny, thanks so much for that live report. This morning, new charges filed against the now former co-owner of Sycamore Brewing. Justin Brigham is now facing 3 counts of sex offense against a child under 15, a second-degree charge of sexual exploitation of a minor, soliciting a child by computer, and assault inflicting serious bodily injury. Brigham is in jail. He has a $10 million bond. His next court date is set for December 29th. This morning, questions continue to flood social media, including why online reviews don't appear to reflect the backlash surrounding this case.
WCNC Charlotte's Megan Bragg verifies whether business owners can remove negative online reviews.
This question came up on a Reddit feed asking if businesses, in this case Sycamore, is allowed to delete Google reviews. So let's verify. Our sources are Google and Yelp. According to Google Help Center, businesses cannot directly delete Google reviews. Google states businesses cannot remove reviews just because they are negative, cannot edit or hide reviews, and cannot pay Google to remove reviews. However, there is a policy where Google itself can remove reviews. Those requirements are if the review is fake or from a bot, if it's hateful, threatening, or discriminatory, if it's not based on a customer's experience, and if it's from a competitor or former employee. Businesses can also flag reviews, and if Google deems it spam or profanity, Google can take it down. We also looked at the popular site Yelp's review policy. Their content guidelines are much like Google's, where businesses can only report reviews but not delete them. Yelp will delete a review if it includes content like threats, hate speech, or harassment. So we can verify that no, businesses cannot delete a Google or Yelp review themselves. They can only report them. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
Meanwhile, a popular bar in Chapel Hill is standing by Sycamore and its workers. In a statement on Instagram, Goodfellows says in part, instead of dumping the beer on the brewery and penalizing the innocent, hardworking people who rely on the brewery for their livelihoods, we're going to continue to work with Sycamore going forward. They went on to say they'll donate a portion of the proceeds from future Sycamore sales to the Orange County Rape Crisis Center. We're also waiting to hear back from national retail chain Total Wine. They typically sell Sycamore products, but a WCNC viewer sent us this photo from the location in Steel Creek showing an empty shelf where Sycamore products typically sit. We've reached out to Total Wine for more details. We'll let you know when we hear back. 8:05 right now. Turning back to your weather impact forecast and a slight improvement from this time yesterday, Chris.
Yeah, thank goodness. 29 degrees where we're at right now. We are 16 degrees heading into the 8 o'clock hour. I think at that point you're starting to warm up to the upper teens. We have in North Wilkesboro, Albemarle, and then also around Morganton. So not everyone is perfect right now, but it is overall warmer across the board, especially for you, Jefferson. Jefferson, you were around 6 degrees at this point, so that's a heck of an upgrade. Our weather words for today: cold morning, warmer day, and a sunny day. So cold, warmer, and sunny all encapsulate the day. 53 degrees for a high. By the way, the average high is 55. We're pretty much on brand with that. Wind should be pretty light as well. So calm to light is another word that I can use. Our bus stop forecast. Now, some of these times have already done. I think we're right around this temperature range, and that did verify 29 degrees for your 8 a.m. We're up to about 3 degrees to around freezing for 9 a.m. when the kids are getting home is the main point of this forecast. Mostly sunny skies, reaching the lower 50s. Not too much of a wind chill. You'll feel it slightly, but it still looks to be pretty decent. Over the next 4 mornings, we will fall down to freezing or slightly below, but it doesn't look to be anywhere where we've been this morning or like yesterday. So we're actually heading in a nice direction, and by Thursday and Friday, that's unreal. 54. So the start on Friday, I think is going to be even warmer than what we have for a high today, and certainly what we had yesterday. Now, I think this comes with a catch because we're going to have a front that moves through. 54 is our morning low. I think the absolute low when you look at this Friday in climatology is going to be much colder in the 40s because that's likely whenever the temperature is going to be around midnight. It's one of those scenarios that the temperatures don't hit their highs and lows where they typically do. And then that's the reason why we're also significantly colder on Saturday of about 30 degrees because of that frontal boundary. So here's how the next few days are going to look. We have one day that stands out from all the rest, at least for how it's going to look. And that's Thursday. Thursday was looking like a chance for rain. Now it looks likely it's going to rain. So whatever you have outside plans, you got to keep this in mind. It's going to be a beautiful day today, lots of sunshine, but by Wednesday, clouds increase. Tomorrow, I think we start off with some upper level clouds. Next thing you know, you have a partly sunny to a mostly cloudy one, and then we're just waiting on the rain. Rain first really starts to arrive, populate southeast of Charlotte by the morning time. I think by the afternoon, we have rain either side of the I-77 corridor, less rain further off towards the west, but eventually everyone's going to have their turn. So if you don't have much rain during the afternoon or the morning time, you'll have a chance for widespread rain heading into the evening, and then one final batch into your Friday morning. I think that a lot of this is going to fade out, even a chance for a changeover of snow up into the mountains. How much? About a quarter to a half inch, I think, is the general norm. But we are seeing some indications, depending on where the main corridor sets up, that some of us could have as much as 1 to 1.5 inches, maybe even 2 inches of rain. So it depends on when some of those heavier bands are going to begin. We are increasing the clouds by tomorrow, but we're also shifting the winds out of the south and southwest. It's a warmer direction. Once we start to get a front to move through, that's going to cool us down ever so slightly. Still around the normal through Saturday, but Sunday stands out from all the rest, reaching about 65 degrees, and will pop up that range around Christmas and Christmas Eve as well. So not a bad looking 7-day forecast. Hopefully it's not a bad looking morning commute. So let's double check with Majestic.
It's beautiful, but it's busy out there. Still a lot of ongoing wrecks. So if you're heading out the door this morning, pay attention to this. Let me talk you through a couple of things. This one will be important because we have stop and go traffic because of a crash here on Independence. Inbound lanes on Independence right before Harris Boulevard. That's where we do have an active crash. This is where paramedics did respond to that wreck, and this is a picture that I got into my inbox not too long ago. So if you're taking Independence inbound, it's moving, but you know how it goes. It's moving even slower than it already would be without a crash. And then we are still looking at this one, I-485. It's looking better, but it's really between exit 6 and exit 9 that there will be some delays. And then that red here, it's a little closer to Uptown. One lane is currently blocked because of a crash. I-77 southbound at exit 13A to get on to I-85. Again, moving, but just moving very slowly. And then finally, a crash on Carowinds Boulevard northbound at Spring Hill Farm Road. This is something important to keep in mind because, again, we're seeing impacts actually both directions, but those northbound lanes right now are at a stop and go. Ben.
As we had a break, here's an exclusive shopping deal for our viewers.
Hey, you know how we do it. Our team is always testing tons of products. We get rid of the rejects, only show you the best ones, and that's why I want to show you this thing today. It's the Tire Hero Portable Tire Inflator. Let me shut this off for a second. Literally, true story, 2 weeks ago, I got stuck on the side of the road, glass in the tire. I barely made it to the gas station. Almost cost me hundreds of dollars to tow. So you need one of these anyway. The reason I think this is one of the best on the market is for this reason. Come on, and let me show you. So let's say you don't know the PSI of your car, you don't know what it's supposed to be, or if you want to inflate a ball, it does it for you. So you see the little car icon right there? You can flip through these. Okay, I want to do my car. No, I want to do my motorcycle, little motorcycle icon. I want to do my bicycle tire, or I want to do a soccer ball or an exercise ball. I just blew these up. The other cool thing about this is this. Come on and look at this. It's got the USB adapters here. It acts as a portable battery charger, so you can charge your tablet, you can charge your phone. It also comes with all these different nozzles for kind of anything you would have. It's small enough to literally, I mean, it's a pretty packed glove compartment, right? Look at that. It still fits. Nice and easy. Got a great deal for you on this today. And by the way, you want one of these anyway. You want this anyway because you can save $60 a year for properly inflated tires. So why wouldn't you? Get this one though, because I think it's the best on the market. $69.99 normally. Got a deal for you today. 20% off down to $55.99. Scan the QR code on the screen right now or go to shoptvdeals.com.
Time is now 8:14. Congress has less than 3 days to act before pandemic-era ACA subsidies expire. We're talking about Obamacare, driving up healthcare costs. Experts warn premiums could more than double, leaving about 2 million Americans uninsured next year. Amy Colley reports with the clock ticking. Bipartisan groups are starting to push for a compromise on Capitol Hill.
You're going to anticipate the enormous sticker shock of your premiums going up.
New plans are emerging to keep healthcare costs from skyrocketing for millions of Americans. Lawmakers are scheduled to start their holiday breaks at the end of this week, and certain Obamacare subsidies are set to expire while they're on recess. Leaders of the two parties are largely at an impasse. Democrats want a straight-up 3-year extension of the subsidies. House Republicans want a floor vote this week on a plan that lets them expire.
This proposal focuses on expanding the availability of association health plans, allowing employers to really band together to purchase coverage. It also includes new transparency requirements for pharmacy benefit managers.
Now, some centrist Republicans and a handful of Democrats are working on compromises in both chambers. In the House today, a bipartisan group is taking steps to try to force a floor vote on their plan. It would extend the subsidies, but with stricter income caps and new fraud prevention measures.
It's hundreds of dollars a month for many Americans throughout the country. We have to do right by those people.
In the Senate, a bipartisan group that met last night is considering a way to extend the subsidies with reforms. They say they hope to announce their plan before the holiday break.
I think there's a deal that could be done.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
8:15 right now on WCNC Plus. President Donald Trump signed an executive order Monday that reclassifies fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. The president making the move even though government data shows drug overdose deaths in the United States last year dropped to their lowest level in 5 years. The president also ordered Attorney General Pam Bondi to prosecute anybody involved in fentanyl trafficking. And he wants the administration to go after any groups involved in supporting the manufacture, sale, or distribution of the drug. President Trump also considering an executive order to ease restrictions on marijuana. Right now, the DEA lists it as a Schedule I drug. That means it's seen as highly addictive with no medical use. A possible change would move it to Schedule III, where it's considered less addictive. Mr. Trump first floated the idea during the campaign, and on Monday said he's seriously looking at it because many people want to see it happen.
A major food company has issued a recall on one of its ice cream flavors. Danone is voluntarily recalling its So Delicious dairy-free salted caramel cluster non-dairy frozen dessert. The problem is the cashews could contain foreign materials, including small rocks. Danone, which is a French company, says it has already corrected the issue and no other flavors are impacted. Some pints with the problem may have already been sold. Those who have the product are asked to call the So Delicious toll-free phone number on its website.
A new data set rewriting the history of Earth's climate, stretching records back nearly 70 years earlier. Could this hidden past reveal the planet has warmed far more than we ever realized? That's next. Approaching 8:20 right now on WCNC Plus, scientists have unveiled a groundbreaking new temperature data set that extends climate records back nearly 70 years earlier than before. Now, these extended records suggest Earth has warmed more than earlier calculations showed, because they established a cooler baseline period.
That's right. Researchers say greenhouse gases rose 2.5% between 1750 and 1850, enough to cause warming that wasn't fully accounted for. They caution, though, that not all of the changes were human-driven, pointing to 2 massive volcanic eruptions in the early 1800s.
All right, Chris.
And what I'm actually showing you right here is called Show Your Stripes. So there's one time a year that we do this each and every year, that you can actually go on a site and you can insert wherever you live, and it can show you the stripes. And what you're looking at right here, a very pretty pattern, but it doesn't actually paint a pretty picture. This is showing that the global temperature change as how things are coming up, and you can do this for specific locations, that it's either trending down or it's staying the same. It really wasn't until the 80s that we started to see it trend above normal, and then all of a sudden that global temperature started to increase significantly, and now it's almost exponentially increasing. And this also kind of correlates to things that we were talking about, melting of glaciers and so on and so on. Another thing that we don't really mention for climate change, deforestation. The more trees that you cut down, less oxygen as well. And here's a better look at that chart. So dating back to the earlier 1800s, as we were mentioning, you have in general for the global change, it either was coming down a little bit, but again, that crossover was really heading into the 80s. And then we've seen some of the biggest changes over the last 10 years. And if you actually look at some of the warmest years that we have on record, most of those have happened over the last 20 years here in the Charlotte area. Speaking of, I was looking at some of the data for 2025 since we're almost done. Today's day 16 of December. That means it's only 16 days for the rest of December and the year. Incredible. Well, our warmest, this would right now, if this were to end today, would be the 11th warmest on record. We'd have to warm a full 0.2 degrees above this, and that does not look likely. So I think it's going to end at least within the top 15 warmest on record, so not cracking the top 10. By the way, last year was the warmest on record globally and here in Charlotte. And Charlotte, the one that really stands out to me is this is the 12th driest that we've had in history. So drought has really been a problem. We've had several periods of drought, but now we're really starting to see that take over the area, especially in parts of North Carolina compared to South Carolina, and then some of the southwestern side of South Carolina are even under a severe drought. So we desperately need the rain. Luckily, we are going to be seeing that soon. Compared to what we had just a day ago, 18 degrees was the temperature at 8:22 yesterday. We're up to 29. And I was mentioning this earlier, we're still going to see a nice little warm up back to about that freezing point before you know it, and then we're back into the lower 50s. So I like where temperatures are going to be trending. Highs in the lower 50s, and then beyond, you can expect lots of sunshine throughout the day. Looking at the long-term forecast, it's actually heading in a really good place. We are looking at temperatures starting to pop up into the 60s as early as tomorrow. We cool down to the mid-50s, which, by the way, is where we should be this time of year for Saturday, Monday, and next Tuesday. But this coming Sunday, first day of winter, and for Christmas Eve and Christmas, all those days are trending to be in the mid-60s. And looking at the next 10 days of lows, well, we have a low on Friday that's actually warmer than what we have for highs today and what we had yesterday. And most of those lows of the next 10 days are above freezing. So it's nice that we're making up for those colder times that we have for the first half of December. So we're almost done with our peak commute. Let's see how you're faring as we're closing out the first half hour of the 8 o'clock hour.
All right, let's get to it. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Beautiful, cold, busy, all the things as you're heading out the door this morning. This is I-77 at 277, overlooking the beautiful skyline there. Now, there are multiple things that are ongoing. Still following the crash there on Independence, not completely cleared yet. They are clearing it, but it is still going to be slow moving. Remember, this is a picture that I got into my inbox. Independence, it's going to be those inbound lanes right before Harris Boulevard. Medics did respond to this, but again, this is clearing at the moment, but there will still be some delays if you're heading that way. We're also following this accident, not completely cleared. I-485, that's the outer loop between Garrison Road and Wilkinson Boulevard, so about 3 miles where there will be slower moving traffic because of that ongoing crash. And then this is just north of Uptown. One lane is blocked because of a crash. I-77 southbound at exit 13A to really get onto I-85. So seeing those delays really popped up there in red. And then once we head over to the northeast just a bit, the entry ramp on I-85 westbound, specifically exit 52. That's where we do have a crash with a stalled vehicle as well. This is our newest problem that I'm keeping a close eye on for you. We'll have another update here soon.
Majestic, thanks. 8:25 now on this Tuesday morning. Now live look of the beautiful Queen City, 29 degrees. Here's the good thing. Right now the winds are calm, so that is a very good thing. We need to take a quick break. We'll make sure that you keep it right here on WCNC Plus.
Good to see everybody. Temperatures right now around that freezing point, just below. We have the upper 20s for the most part, but ranges as low as 22 in Hickory, 23 for you in Rock Hill. Sunshine, though. We have that across the board, and that's actually where we're looking right now, our Rock Hill camera behind there. High temperatures going to be in the lower to the mid 50s. That is about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than what we had yesterday. Enjoy it. Winds fairly light, but occasionally could be wind chilly on and off throughout the afternoon. And our highs 54 in Hickory, 53 right around Charlotte, 48 degrees in Boone. Much better than freezing to the upper 30s that we had across the board yesterday. Our next chance for rain, we don't have to worry about it tomorrow, but rain is now likely starting as early as Thursday morning through the afternoon, and we can see another pulse, a last-ditch effort for that rain on Thursday evening into early Friday morning. And that will cool us down slightly back to the mid-60s, though, on Sunday. Majestic?
Let's get a look at some of those drive times if you're gearing up to head out the door this morning. It's going to take a little while to get into Charlotte, especially if you're coming in from Gastonia. Right around an hour because there are delays on I-85. If you're coming in from Belmont, just under 40, so plan accordingly. It's gorgeous outside, plenty of sunshine for that Tuesday morning commute. Chilly though, so yes, grab the big layer. We'll be covering everything for you on WCNC Plus.
Thanks for streaming live on WCNC Plus at 8:30. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. This morning we're hearing from the Salisbury Fire Chief sharing an update on the status of 12 firefighters hurt in a home explosion.
Most of them just wanted to, one, check on how everybody else was doing. They care about others and their co-workers. They cared about the civilians. They wanted to know how the civilians were. And they said, I'm ready to get back on the truck tonight. And we had to tell them, no, you do what the doctor says do.
He says he expects all the firefighters to be just fine. The incident happened at a home last night on Laurel Street. That's right off North Long Street near Spencer. At least a dozen firefighters, 11 from Salisbury, 1 from Spencer, are working to put out a fire when the house suddenly exploded, sending bricks and debris flying. We spoke with the homeowner, who told us 8 people live in the home, but only his brother and sister were there when the fire broke out. He says his sister's now in the hospital, and he's still trying to process what happened.
Yeah, we was. We was planning to have Christmas here, but I guess we're not gonna have it here. We're still gonna have Christmas. We're not gonna be here, but it'll be somewhere.
Washington says their 2 dogs did not make it out. The cause of the fire remains under investigation.
Right now, CMPD is searching for a suspect after a deadly shooting early Monday morning in East Charlotte. We brought you this first as breaking news yesterday morning. It happened around 3 a.m. along North Sharon Amity Road near East Independence Boulevard, just outside a daycare. Neighbors say the violence is unsettling in what's usually a quiet area.
You don't know what people do anymore. You know, you have to go to work. You mind your own business, and seem like that's not enough.
Police say officers arrived for a call for an assault with a deadly weapon, and they found a man suffering from gunshot wounds. He later died at the hospital. CMPD is asking anyone with information or video to come forward as their search continues. Local authorities say it was another successful weekend for Operation Safe Season. CMPD made 36 arrests, conducted 224 traffic stops, and seized 20 guns. The Central Division reported 0 violent crimes from Friday evening to Sunday afternoon. Officials say they will keep working to ensure a safe holiday season for everyone.
A woman's behind bars in connection to a deadly hit and run in Gastonia nearly 2 months ago. U.S. Marshals took 36-year-old Laketta English into custody. She's charged with felony hit and run. The crash happened back in October on Garrison Boulevard. You might remember some of this surveillance video we showed you at the time. 2 pedestrians were hit by an SUV. Cody Cochran died, and the other victim was seriously hurt.
The family of a Charlotte mother who was found dead late last week continues to push for justice. Lorenza Inman faced a judge for the first time Monday in the murder of 31-year-old Frasia Baker. Inman was denied bond. Prosecutors pointed to his extensive criminal history, including past cases involving violence against women, a prior assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill. Baker's family says this tragedy should have never happened.
I hope you never get out. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about her. That's what I want. Every day you wake up, I want you to think about my baby.
Inman's next court hearing is scheduled for January 2nd. This morning, a man remains behind bars after jurors in Iredell County found him guilty in a deadly drunk driving crash that killed a father and his 2 children. Prosecutors say in 2022, Austin Harmon crossed the center line while driving drunk and slammed into a golf cart carrying 6 people. Michael Marlowe, his 5-year-old son, and 13-year-old daughter were all killed. Harmon was convicted on DWI and 3 felony counts.
Right now, a man's in jail after a shooting at a nightclub on Old Pineville Road that has a history of problems with police. Police say 20-year-old Riley Condors is facing 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill. It happened Sunday at Club Onyx. Court documents say Condors pointed a gun at a security guard at the club after he refused to leave, and that is when the security guard shot at him, hitting a different person. That person's expected to be okay. Club Onyx has been linked to numerous police calls over the years, including a parking lot shooting as recently as September. Right now, investigators are working to figure out what sparked a fire at a Matthews neighborhood. The fire reportedly broke out at a pool house on Brightmoor Drive near Pleasant Plains Road. You can see charred remains of the building in this video. The investigation is still underway. Impact fees for the entire Clover School District are going up in York County. County leaders voting last night to increase the fees that are issued for new homes to $8,000. It doubles the current price by $4,000. Supporters say the move's necessary to keep up with the rapid growth in that area.
8:35 now. A new hub in Charlotte will be a one-stop shop for nonprofits and developing small businesses. It's all aimed at improving the Albemarle Road area. That's one of the city's so-called corridors of opportunity. It is now closer to becoming a reality, thanks in large part to a $1.5 million grant from the Leon Levine Foundation. WCNC Charlotte's Michelle Bowden shows us how this public-private partnership is seeking solutions to bring Spark Centro to life.
The city and county also each threw in $1.5 million to bring this project to life because the city of Charlotte is home to one of the fastest growing Latino populations in the country.
I'm Mexican, Colombian. Well, I was born here.
Tim Howard runs his own landscaping business, one of the 8,000 Latino-owned businesses in Charlotte, a number that's growing every day.
Starting a business is a little scary, but I mean, with the right help, with the right people, you know, you can do it.
Howard was part of the eHub program at Spark Centro.
Me, for the longest time, I was like, you know, I'm going to start a business. And I was just, you know, always hesitant, always, you know, it's not the right time. They kind of told you, like, you just need to start, like, just go out there, do it.
The program is one of several Spark Centro focuses on. The local nonprofit that partners with the Latin Chamber of Commerce is building a hub for growing Latino-owned small businesses in the Albemarle Road corridor.
This plan started with a Latin community, but we have evolved into a more inclusive practice, so it's the corridors for everybody.
Spark Centro, the hub, is under construction thanks to money from the city and county, as well as private partners like the Leon Levine Foundation and the Latin Chamber of Commerce, and the center should open next fall. There will also be room for other nonprofits and services, all there under one roof.
So we're putting together all that force and all that energy that we have in one building. By doing this, we're going to create a lot of mobility in that corridor and across diverse ethnicity groups.
So once it's done, there's also going to be a community event space and rotating companies helping with workforce development, all of this under one roof. Reporting in Charlotte, Michelle Bowden, WCNC Charlotte.
Thanks a lot, Michelle. All right, let's get right to it. So check it out. This is the way our forecast is going to look throughout the day. For the most part, it's going to be this beautiful blue sky, barely a cloud. But we do have some upper level clouds joining us this morning. That's the worst case scenario, and that is a great scenario. And it depends where you are. Jefferson, you're 21 degrees warmer than where we were just a day ago, 24 hours ago. A 12-degree difference for you in Gastonia and 11 around the Charlotte area, because many of us were down into the teens and even the single digits up at the high country. Jefferson, instead, you're at 33 right now. We're still at 29 around Charlotte, soon about to be around the freezing point and slightly above, and then 23 around Lincoln. So those temperatures are all over the place. Every morning over on WCNC Charlotte, we have a segment called Dog of the Day. It's also Pet of the Day, just depending. I just get a lot more dogs. Dog people, you know how we are, but I also feature cats as the number 2 spot. I've featured iguanas and all sorts of pets, but this is Barkley, sent by Carol Kelly, who is a 5-year-old Great Dane, and a great dog is what I've heard. Our Dog of the Day status is showing that it is a beautiful day for going on a walk, no matter the size of your pup. Lots of sunshine to go throughout, and then we're back to around 50 degrees come 2 p.m., so that's going to be a nice temperature range to return to. Today's high is 53 around Charlotte, same thing in Rock Hill, 54 over in Lancaster. Sunshine all day long with winds less than 10 miles per hour. That's always nice to see. Through 15 days, today, December 16th, we're officially at the midpoint of December. We have averaged 48.1 degrees for our highs through the first half of December. That's actually the 20th coldest set of highs that we've had in Charlotte history, where only once we hit 60 degrees, 5 times in the 50s. A majority of the days were in the 40s, including one yesterday, 38 degrees. That was the coldest day that we've had so far since early November. And Taco Tuesday, well, maybe you have something spicy, enjoy yourself. Looking at temperatures that are still holding true to the lower 40s by about 8 p.m., which, by the way, yesterday didn't even reach 40 degrees, so we're still warmer up until about 9 o'clock compared to where we were the entirety of yesterday afternoon. Tonight, 32 degrees, so it's either side of that freezing point at the beginning, and then we have some milder lows a couple days following. That's because of the increased cloud cover before we see another cool down back to freezing on Saturday. Tomorrow, hour by hour, you see more clouds that increase throughout the day. Highs back to around 60 degrees, leading to our next chance for rain. I'm going to leave the weather bookmark right here. I'll show you our 7-day forecast, the exact timing of all this rain. But just note, I think you need the umbrella for your Thursday and Thursday night, as we have several pulses of rain that move through. I'll let you know how that's going to treat our weekend and how we have some effects leading up to Christmas Day. But in the meantime, Majestic has some words to say.
Let's do it. Good morning, everyone. It's beautiful, it's cold, and those roads are still quite busy. We're now getting a little closer to 9 o'clock this morning, 8:40 right on the dot, though. This is I-77 there coming in from York County. And here's my map. It looks a whole lot better now compared to what it looked like just about 20 minutes ago. A new crash right here. It's not on a main road, but it's still important. It's on Nathan Drive at Reed Mountain Lane. Again, not a main road, but still a couple of you may actually encounter that for your morning commute. Still following this is one lane that's blocked because of a crash. I-77 southbound at exit 13A to get onto I-85. We're seeing that red, which means stop and go traffic because of that crash. Once we head outside of 485 heading northeast, the entry ramp to I-85 westbound at exit 52, that's from Poplar Tent Road. That's where we do have one lane that's currently blocked because of a crash. You can see a little bit of red starting to build right there. So keep this in mind. We'll have another check and see what changes we're seeing all coming up here in just a few. Guys.
Majestic thinks the holidays can bring joy, but also stress when family disagreements surface. Hear how setting clear boundaries can help protect your mental health this season.
And folks, as we head to break, if you're looking to get into the holiday spirit, look no further. Starting tonight at 9:30, we'll be streaming parades from around the Piedmont right here on WCNC Plus. Christmas parades, of course. And that's just the beginning. Through the rest of the year, you can catch all of our holiday events anytime right here on WCNC Plus. It's the easiest way to enjoy local holiday celebrations from your home anytime you want.
The time is now 8:44. As we inch closer to the holidays, you may feel excited, but also a bit overwhelmed or concerned about getting together with a friend or a family member who has different views or maybe is on the opposite end of the political spectrum.
So this time of year, experts say it's especially important to protect your mental health. Mandy Gaither talks to a therapist about how to set healthy, clear boundaries.
It's a time of togetherness, joining with family and friends to celebrate the holidays. But it can also be a season of worry and dread.
Boundaries are really important for maintaining and protecting our peace.
Licensed therapist Jody Baumstein with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says setting a boundary isn't about creating distance. It's about staying connected, but with healthy limits. So she says to be proactive and use clear language to set a boundary before they get together in order to avoid conflict. And keep that message consistent. For example, that a certain topic is off limits. And then accept that you can only control your response to things.
We also spend a lot of mental energy thinking about what the other person is doing, but we don't have control over them.
Baumstein says you don't have to explain why you're saying no to an invitation you feel you can't handle. Again, use clear language. But if you do go to an event, be prepared to enforce your boundaries. For example, if someone brings up a topic you've deemed off limits, you might start with a gentle reminder, but also have a plan on how you'll handle the situation if your boundaries are violated.
If it comes up again, I'm going to end the conversation. Or if it comes up again, I'm going to leave the room. Or if needed, if it comes up again, I'm going to leave.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Holiday shopping often means juggling budgets and deciding who gets what. Etiquette experts say the key is to focus first on family and close friends, and then extend outward to others you'd like to thank. And if money's tight, small gestures, they can still make a big impact.
We, in the etiquette world, we think about gift giving like an onion, and the core of an onion would be like your family and friends. And that would really be like where the bulk of your budget should be. And then as you like peel the layers, that's people you're not as close with, but you still want to show gratitude. If you still want to show gratitude without buying a gift, there's tiny little things you can do. Buying that person a coffee, like just simple little things you can do to show gratitude that don't cost a lot of money.
While the layers of gift giving may vary, experts say the message is still the same. It's showing gratitude, whether it's a thoughtful present, a gift card, a coffee, like she mentioned. It can mean just as much as a bigger gift itself.
Speaking of some big gifts, Powerball growing right before the holidays. No one won the jackpot in Monday night's drawing, so it's now expected to reach $1.25 billion by Wednesday night. This will be the second time this year a jackpot north of $1 billion has been up for grabs. Now, even if the winner takes the lump sum, that's still $572 million before taxes. The odds of winning more than $290 million to 1. And of course, the more people who play, the greater the chance that more than one winner will have to split that jackpot. I say remember your favorite news anchors.
Amen to that.
Yeah, I like that. We are looking at widespread rain early Thursday, heading into early Friday morning. Now more setting up further off towards the east. I'm going to bring you through the hour-by-hour forecast for not just this Thursday, but every rain chance we have leading up to Christmas Day. See you soon. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, let's roll with it. We're mainly going to be talking about our rainfall chances across the area. And the one day that stands out from all the rest, at least in the near term, is Thursday night, and that should be ending by your Friday morning. So let's get right to it. Better look at that. The times you need the umbrella, I think it starts as early as the morning time. This is different than yesterday. Yesterday it looked like, okay, maybe a little bit of rain in the morning and then a lot more by the evening. Now it's starting to spread a little bit further into the Charlotte area as early as the mid to late morning hours, and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. For one, we increase the clouds tomorrow. I think at most maybe you have a sprinkle heading into your Wednesday evening, better chance for a little bit of light rain. Just rain, no wintry mix for the mountains. And then by Thursday morning, we're seeing signs of rain right through here. Now, typically whenever you're talking about a rainfall chance like this is picking up, I think, on the prefrontal boundary, it can slide. It can slide 50 miles to the west, and that means more rain over in Morganton, or it can trend a little bit further east, and then we don't have to worry about rain as much. This is just showing, I think, the general timing of where things are going to be. So I am letting you know that I think somewhere across our area, we are going to have some pulses of some light to moderate rain, even some pockets of some heavier rain that start to move in. So not everyone's seeing this, but either side of the I-77 corridor seeing the possibility of that. And as of right now, it looks like there could be at least two main pulses with this, one in the morning to the afternoon, one in the afternoon heading into the evening, and then the last one I think is going to fade out before it really gets here along the frontal boundary. This is by far the best chance for rain going forward. We'll dry out for the weekend, and then we'll see another second coming of rain late Monday heading into the Tuesday before Christmas. So opening up your travel circle, focusing in mainly on that. Here's the main swath of rain that I was talking about. Back edge of this could provide a little brief dusting of snow at most, or at least you see the snow up in the high country. Then through the weekend, we're staying dry. Here's that weak sauce rain chance for your Monday heading into Tuesday. Don't think a lot really comes out of this, but the best news I have for you will end on this note. 64 and 65 are new highs that I have for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. That's trending over 10 degrees above the normal. So happy holidays indeed if that's your jam. Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast has all in all average to above average temperatures most of the days of the next 7, even 65 degrees for the winter solstice, first day of winter on Sunday, and for hopefully the Panthers winning the next game. Let's get over to Majestic as we have our final traffic look here on WCNC Plus.
It's getting close to 9 o'clock and we don't have many more crashes to report at this time, so we're moving in the right direction. Let's highlight a few that I want to let you know about. This one here, it's going to be well north of Uptown. It's a crash right here on Nathan Drive at Remount Lane. Still seeing mainly green around it, so that's some good news for us. Once we're looking at this one though, a lot more orange and red starting to develop still. One lane is blocked, that's why we are seeing those delays. It's because of a crash on I-77 southbound exit 13A. That's to get from I-77 to I-85. So some delays here, about a 5 to 10 minute delay for your morning commute. And then the third thing to highlight here, it's the entry ramp to I-85 westbound at exit 52. That's Poplar Tent Road. We have one lane that's blocked because of this crash that is currently ongoing. Delays on I-85, but no crash here in Gaston County. And then much of the same 485 out there towards Matthews. We don't have any crashes to report, just slow moving traffic, mainly on the inner loop right there.
Hi, this is Sprinkle time for our Tuesday Tail Wagger along with our friends at Animal Care and Control. Last week this time we featured Bailey, and Bailey is still there, still looking for a forever home. Let's bring on today's Tail Wagger, Matilda. Love that name. Matilda is looking for a forever home. Matilda's actually been there since October. It's really a great dog. 3 years old, weighs right around 45 to 50 pounds. It is a really well-behaved dog, loves treats, treat motivated, and learns easily. In fact, knows lots of commands. Loves to be outside on a leash or just kind of hanging out with you outdoors. Her name is Matilda, available at Animal Care and Control. They're open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, both days, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Has been there a long time, just in time for the holidays, all ready to go. This is Matilda once again, right around 4 years old, weighs somewhere from about 50 to 55 pounds. And that's Matilda. She is our very special Tuesday Tail Wagger.
Larry, thanks so much. Well, Ginger the elf is quite special as well, and today she is back. She is celebrating Taco Tuesday is only Ginger can. Of course, she joins us every morning here on WCNC Plus as well as WCNC Charlotte. She spreads holiday cheer, sometimes a little mischief as we lead up to Christmas. Check this out. We have loved meeting all of Ginger's friends, so please keep those pictures coming. We see your elves are sometimes up to no good as well. You can still send us a picture of your elf if you haven't already. Just text us 704-329-3600.
We're going to take a quick break, but keep it right here on WCNC Plus. Our own Jane Monterell taking over at the top of the hour from our live Impact studio. She's going to be joined by the Mecklenburg County Sheriff in studio. That's coming your way at the top of the hour right here on WCNC Plus.
Well, good morning, everybody. Plain and simple, today is a gorgeous looking day. Look at that, beautiful blue skies to look forward to. High temperatures in the lower to the mid 50s, about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than yesterday. That's awesome. Less than 10 mile per hour winds, so means limited wind chill overall. But our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast has overall an above average trend. We're back to around 60 degrees tomorrow with increasing clouds. Thursday, that's the day you need the umbrella. We're looking at pulses of rain starting in the morning, on and off in the afternoon, more so in the evening, heading into the early morning hours on Friday. We clear things out, dry things out. We'll be back to freezing to kick off your Saturday, and then boom, on Sunday, the pick of the week, 65 degrees. So a nice warm beginning to the winter solstice, the beginning of winter. Let's get over to Majestic. Good morning.
Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Let's get to it. If you're heading out the door, traffic is starting to look a little bit better now that we're nearing that 9 o'clock hour. Still chilly, though, feeling like it's 28 degrees. So grab that layer as you're heading out for your morning commute. There's a look at some of our drive times. If you're coming in from Gastonia, about 45 minutes. Coming in from Belmont, just over 35 here. Now, a couple of things. This crash here is still ongoing. It's at Nathan Drive at Remount Lane. But to the south of us, remember, there's a crash there on I-77 at exit 13A.